Okay, so for everybody that wasn't here last time we had our meeting at the library, the whole goal behind starting the Neighborhood Watch program is to get the citizens and the community involved in essentially helping us keep an eye on things. It's not meant in any way for the public to do our jobs for us. It's just to be an extra set of eyes and ears, and when you guys see something, to say something. So I kind of had to do this a little bit backwards, because typically your Neighborhood Watch program starts with the community members coming to the police department and saying, you know, we think we need extra protection, we think we need to help you do what you need to do, and then that's when the police department then steps in and helps facilitate that. But what I did is I went ahead and essentially registered and established the Neighborhood Watch program on the National Neighborhood Watch website. And the main reason I did that is because, just like anything else these days, you can't use their images, their pictures, or anything like that because of the licensing without being a part of their program. So tonight, I just basically wanted to go through essentially what we need from the community, because this is going to be the community's program. We help start and facilitate, but after that, it's meetings are held by the community, they're organized by the community, and then it's our job to just be there to take in the information and give you guys resources that you might need. So the steps that they lay it out, first of all, you're supposed to recruit and organize as many neighbors as possible. So I guess after this meeting, that would be where the next steps would be talking with people in your neighborhood. And again, this was historically started in a bigger city, where one neighborhood might be the size of St. John. So the goal behind this isn't necessarily one specific neighborhood, or you know, the east side of town or the west side of town or whatever. I look at it more as a town watch versus neighborhood watch, but everybody knows the name Neighborhood Watch, so that's why we're using that model. So after you get as many people with you to get things going, then you're supposed to contact your local law enforcement agency and schedule a meeting. Obviously, we've already done that. So in those meetings, you then discuss your community concerns and develop an action plan. And again, the website has just a wealth of information, resources on there, models that you can use and things to move forward. So after you develop an action plan, they want you to create a communication plan. And that may be, you know, you use Facebook, Twitter, all the social media kind of things to get the word out as to what's going on. And then the last one, undertake action, is to hold meetings and events. So really, just like any other organization, any other thing with any kind of structure, there's going to have to be some meetings, there's going to have to be some buy-in, some participation, and that kind of thing before it's going to really benefit. And through those meetings, then you can really start to get decide what your community wants to do, your neighborhood wants to do. There's, I'm sure in a lot of cities you've all seen the Neighborhood Watch signage, you know, that you can purchase. And a lot of communities hold fundraisers, bake sales, that kind of thing, so they can purchase the signs. They're about $40 to $45 a piece, which is a little pricey, but you know, it's your average metal sign that'll last a long time. And I'm confident that the city will hold what they've already told me, that they'd be willing to purchase some signs and obviously set the signs and that kind of thing. So I guess where we're at now, obviously we have some that have been to the first meeting and now been to the second. So, you know, I guess, you know, we need to kind of decide, first of all, is this something the community wants to do? Is this something that the community has a desire to do, that people have time to do, that they can see themselves putting in the effort to maintain it, you know, down the road and as things go on, because that's the hardest thing, is keeping it going. After the new wears off and things like that, we're all busy, everybody has commitments, and sometimes it can get to the point where it's okay, I just got another meeting to go to. So I would guess amongst those that are here, I would entertain any kind of discussion, concerns, you know, something you're seeing, maybe there's something specific only you're seeing in your part of town that others don't.
To be honest, if nobody wants to hold a neighborhood watch, I mean, you know, organization-wise, maybe city could just send out flyers with their monthly bill, say, hey, if you see anything going on around your house, your neighborhood, call 3247. You know, or 911 if it's serious. Let them know they can do it. A lot of them don't even think they know that you guys are there,
Sure.
you know?
Okay.
There's probably a lot of people that see things that don't even realize they're seeing it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
The meetings, what would they consist of? Just kind of talking about what they've seen, or,
This really, it's up to, the sky's the limit. I mean, you could develop a structure where you have a council of sorts that directs, directs the direction of the meetings and, what you want done, what, fundraisers to do. But again, if I realize that's really difficult to do. So the other ideas would be just to let everybody know that we are a neighborhood watch city, that we have people that are interested in paying attention to what's going on, and the meetings could look like this. They could be once a month, once every couple of months, and then maybe once a quarter there on out, and it's just an opportunity. In law enforcement, we call them intelligence meetings, where we might every once in a while call on agencies that we, in Barton County, Reno County, Pratt County, we all come together because we all deal with the same people and the same problems. And then we just come together and we share information. This is what we're seeing here. And before we know it, Great Bend's dealing with the same thing, Pratt's dealing with the same thing, and we're able to come together and prosecute some cases and hold some people accountable. And that's a very real possibility that we could do it that way too.
I think it's a great idea, I just don't know how you get people to come.
Yeah.
I think people are interested in it.
Either that or go ahead and put the signs up,
Yeah,
because people come in from out of town and don't know there's only one person here and one person there that's interested,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and really how this all came about, I had a specific individual that lived next to a house where some things were going on, and he just asked, do you guys have a sign maybe we can put on the easement in their front yard to put them on notice?
Is the city gonna complain because we put the sign up?
Well, we'll have to work with the city. We'll have to do things right, just like anybody else.
Right.
But with the easement that the city has on every property for the purpose of maintaining utilities, then I know that they will be more than willing to help us, plan them. And it'd be one of them cases where we can call DigSafe and stuff like that and have them come out. And if we're going to post 6 signs, they can come out at one time and mark everything to make sure we're not poking a hole in gas lines or anything like that, because that's the last thing we need. But I think the signs are important. Some people are going to say they're just signs, but at the same time, it lets people know that people are keeping an eye out and they're not afraid to call if they do see something.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would like to get to the point where we have people calling enough to where other people get tired of it. It's like, you've been at my house 2 times this week, what's going on? Well,
Yeah.
we're just investigating something that's been reported to us.
So more or less, do you want us as, who's here, do you want us to do some door-to-door? Would that help to recruit people or, to get their interest and see what their interest is?
I don't think you gotta go door to door. I think just in our daily lives and work and just the people you communicate with, just letting them know what's going on.
Right.
And it's, as much as I hate it, because it's hard to keep up with, social media is the biggest way to get information out right now. So,
Right.
When we put something out there, the more people that can share it and see it, and that kind of thing.
But that's usually not immediate.
No, it's not.
You might see it next day.
Right, yeah. So yeah, those are, like I said, my goal in this wasn't to have something that everybody had to commit a lot of their time to and have another responsibility. It was more to get some people interested and get the word out, which eventually gets to individuals who are up to no good, that we are keeping an eye out. And the other thing we want everybody to know is, if it's important to you guys, it's important to us. Honestly, we being a small town, we're used to getting calls on things that maybe, we check on 99% of the time, it's nothing. But you know the people that belong in your neighborhood, you know the vehicles that come through every day. And if you see something that just doesn't feel right, then we would rather people call and give us a chance to look into it and address it.
I think it seems like we have people moving out this way from bigger towns too, which doesn't help
Yep.
in some cases.
Don't know.
Well, that's,
Right.
yeah.
Used to know everybody in town, now don't
Yeah.
know anybody.
Yep. But again, you never know. I mean, that suspicious vehicle you call in may be just that. And then that's now given us the opportunity to get to introduce ourselves and get to know them
Meet 'em.
and meet them and see who they are and what they're about. And, you know, I mean, in the end, again, more times than not, it's just going to end up a friendly contact and a chance for us to,
Over the last couple of years, the door-to-door salesmen have dropped.
Yeah, they have.
yeah, we've put a hit on that pretty hard.
Thank you.
We took the initiative to not wait until we got the calls. You know, if we see somebody that's obviously going door to door, then we go ahead and take care of that
A
because
couple of years
it's,
ago, I called in several, and then all of a sudden they just quit.
yeah.
Didn't appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we try to nip it because, you know, and again, we've never had any issues with it, but in a lot of bigger cities, that's what they use to case houses and scans and look and see what tools you got in your garage and that kind of thing. So, yeah, we try to hit those pretty hard. If we
Well,
see
the last couple that came up, I just looked at them and said, "You have a city permit?" And they turned around and left.
Wait a minute.
But again, you know, like you mentioned earlier, because of your history and stuff, you know that's a requirement. Most people don't, they don't.
Yeah, you want to use it again?
Yeah, don't need any more encyclopedias, right? So
Well,
I
I definitely think it's something we need to go through with. If the city, you said the city was already willing to purchase some signs, is that what you said?
yeah, when I discussed this with them the first time, I mentioned the signage and the opportunity or the possibility for the city to be a part of that. And it was I feel it was a consensus of the council if that's something they could do.
And when is the next council meeting?
The 17th, so it'll be a week from tomorrow.
Because I think if we all see our neighbors or people in passing and just do it by word of mouth, at least get more people, you know, knowing about it. And once they start seeing the signs, I'm sure that's going to generate questions in itself. And then kind of maybe go from there.
There's quite a few people that isn't necessarily on Facebook and some of that stuff too.
You're right. Yeah, and that's, you know, I did my best to plaster every business with a flyer about the meeting, but after that, then I was told that Mondays aren't exactly the best nights because there's other things going on, and so I asked about it. Yeah, I asked about other days, and they pretty much said in the summer, there's something going on all the time,
I don't think it matters.
which I understand, so. Okay. The only other thing I can think of is to offer somebody to bake some cookies and stuff like that. Maybe some food will get some people to some more.
Yeah,
Give
I
them
can do
cookies,
that.
they'll probably come.
Huh?
Give them cookies, they'll probably come. Egg or something.
Even if they just come for the cookies, we can lock them in.
Yeah.
How many
Donut.
signs would you think you need just like for coming into town? People out of town, they come in First Street, Fourth Street,
Yeah, and really, 8th Street sees quite a bit of traffic.
yeah.
More so typically during football season and stuff like that, people
Right.
coming in. So I would say, you know, just off of 281, we'd have 3.
And you know the areas of town that could probably use them more than others.
Sure.
First Street, Fourth Street.
So, yeah, I mean, 281, you'd have 3, and then First Street coming in from the west, 1. West Street, I know the south end of West Street still has an old one, but it's faded.
Yeah.
You know, the ones needed. So I would say, I would think, you know, we could do 6 or 8 to start off with to get the
Might be worthwhile just asking the city if they want to get 6 or 8.
One over by our neighborhood?
Well, I've got another suggestion, that from the square, put one a block off the square on each street. Because that way, as people are driving, come to the square first, but then they say go north on Broadway, here's a neighborhood watch sign. And do the same on Main, or on 4th, 3rd,
Yeah,
just as an idea.
yeah, that's a good idea.
And how much did you say the signs were again, 45?
I can look real quick just to make sure.
I mean, because you might be able to
Get a discount for
eventually
10 or more.
ask families if they want to donate
Yep,
to get more, if we wanted more.
Trace Street gets a lot of attention. South Prairie.
They are, looks like they're $42.99.
Okay.
And they are a 18 by 24 reflective sign, so they're pretty good
Yeah,
size.
that's good size.
Pretty good size.
But then there's, you know, probably what I'll try to do is put a link to the portion of the website that you can purchase those, because they have stickers. I mean, there's you know, stickers you can put on the door to your house. Just all kinds of other stuff that you can purchase. You know, individually. I mean, we're talking you know,
Right.
$4 or $5 a piece. So yeah, I mean, and I would think that as many signs as we have around, there's got to be some portion of the city budget that would have some room for that. If not, there's
They'd also have to foot the bill for the post and
right, which I know
labor.
I think they've got a good supply
the labor.
of the posts.
Jeff says he's overworked anyway.
And how are we on our numbers on police force? Do we still have 30?
You're looking at it
Oh, that's it? Oh,
for now.
okay.
We're working on getting some people to work, but it takes time.
You definitely need some more eyes out there.
Yes.
Well, this even makes it a little more of an effort that we should put upon ourselves to help police our communities.
That way you won't have any time off.
We're already there.
Well, I didn't mean it that.
No, that's, like I said, I mean, it's, you know, we have just chosen to try to start to take that stance, that there isn't anything too petty, there isn't anything, you know, that's beneath us or anything like that. We've all been guilty of grumbling about the nonsense calls or something like that, but, you know, we decided to take a step back and recognize that we can, you know, not only can we do better, but we know that by taking that stance and investigating things and just talking to people, how much we can drive things down.
Yeah.
Because we are, you know, when I started in 2004, we had almost 1,600 cases that year. We ended last year with around 250. So we've come a long way in where we used to be to where our crime trends and numbers and stuff are down. So we've driven it down. And then the past 6-8 months, we've started to see some things creep back up. And we don't want it to creep back up. We'd rather keep it down as far as we can. And we have some people ask. I mean, if you look at our activity report, there's chunks here and there we might go a day or two without a call. And people say, well, what the heck's going on? Well, I attribute that to our crime is down, and so we're not dealing with so much stuff. So
It's easier to keep it down like that than it is to.
it's easier to keep it down and catch up.
After it's out of hand.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
What's the number to call it if you see a suspicious vehicle or something like that?
It's 549-3247. That is that's the administrative line to the sheriff's office who we're dispatched through. So of course we just ask, you know, if it looks at all dangerous or any kind of emergency, then of course call 911.
Okay.
But yeah, but if it's just something doesn't feel right, or it's just one of them everyday run-of-the-mill things, you know, or the door-to-door salesman is a good example, then you can just call that admin line and they'll send us where we need to go to check it out.
I have them in my contacts.
So we have a lot of people that
Dispatch in
do.
my contacts.
We have a lot of people that know that number by heart.
Yeah, been
Just have
memorized
it
for
programmed
20
into my
years.
phone.
So yeah, and we actually don't have a direct line to the police department anymore. We're just it's not that often that we are up in the office, and we would have individuals that would call there thinking that they were going to get a call dispatched, and when nobody would answer the phone, it caused some problems. So we thought it best to just delete, because again, we're not there that often, so it was better to just get rid of that number and just have one number.
3247 is busy for some reason. You can call city office, they can get hold of you.
Yeah, but if you do call the city office, you'll probably be referred back to the sheriff's office, because that's another thing is our employees in the city office aren't trained dispatchers.
No, but they can still call you, can't they? If it's-
Depending on the call, if it's something that is going to require information, you know, a good amount of information, or if it's to report a crime, they're going to refer you back to the sheriff's office. It's more of a liability than anything, not only to protect them, but to protect the community too, because we gotta make sure that the information is getting where it needs to be and in a timely manner, because they don't have radios to us in their ear.
Oh, they don't?
No, they just have when we switched
City-
over to,
city office.
yeah, when
City.
the sheriff's office switched to UHF, the city remained on VHF, so we don't have
I thought they
VHF.
still had the radio.
Yeah, they, like I said, they do to the
City.
maintenance guys, but not to us. But it shouldn't, they've got 3 or 4 lines now, and it's supposed to piggyback to the other, so you shouldn't get a busy tone. If you do, then something's wonky. They're supposed to roll over to the next, to 3248. That look tells me he's gotten a busy signal.
Yeah, I have. I have.
Well, if you call the 3247, it probably isn't gonna be an emergency anyway.
No, it's not a emergency.
Right.
You gotta call in every time you burn a brush pile, which I did today. Yolanda picks up the phone, I says, "Hi, Yolanda, again?"
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still in support, so I think you're doing good.
Thank you,
So where do we need to go from here? Just talk to some people and
I think the best thing to do from here is to do that to help us spread the word. And there's nothing to say that in the future, if we get more people interested or involved, that we can move to that next level of, you know, we can start making it more of a community involved kind of thing. So, but I mean, honestly, I think right now, you know, doing this, we should be,
And Misty still says she's a go too, she just doesn't be there.
yeah, and the other neat thing is, you know, there's even a business watch in the same model. And that may be a way to bolster the numbers of the neighborhood watch, is to take that next step forward of getting some of the business owners and managers involved with, you know, what can be done for them and the same kind of thing. So we just gotta kind of take baby steps, because again, we're limited on numbers and all that good stuff. So.
Okay.
So is there any way, do we need to schedule another meeting date or?
I can take care of all that, to be honest. I'll just,
Okay, yeah, do that.
I probably wouldn't do it, because next month, we have our National Night Out program that we're gonna do up on the square.
Oh, okay.
And now, you're doing that, right?
Mhm.
Did you, was there a conflict on your date, or oh, there's a city council meeting? I just remember you talking.
Yeah,
about
no, I think there's a city council meeting, but that's,
It's not gonna affect
no,
the.
I don't know. I don't think so. Nope. Yeah, and we're trying to, and that's one thing we're trying to work with. We want to get some sort of entertainment or something like that. So we're going to look at having a DJ, and then I want to get with the individuals that have been doing the hot summer nights, and they've got access to the inflatables and things like that. And so we're just going to,
Mr. Knight, I just saw that he made a page, or a Facebook page today being a DJ.
really,
And I know with his sense of humor, he'd be excellent. So keep that in mind, it's local and.
I will try to get a hold of him tomorrow. That'd be a great idea. So yeah, if you know of anybody who has a talent or, you know, whatever, that might be able to donate, that would be willing to donate some time, then maybe try to get a dunk tank up there or something, and I can sit up there and people can get me wet, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
So yeah, that's what we're working on.
All right.
do we need to get some literature to talk to people about the neighborhood watch so that, you know, when you talk to them, they can see it in black and white?
Yeah, I can work on that.
Or your next notice on Facebook when you do something, put a link to that website.
Yeah. I'll do that. I'll probably put a link to the National Night Out deal too, because there's a lot of,
Okay.
there's several organizations that do one and the same kind of thing.
And what date was that on your thing?
That's a good question.
Well, it has to be a Tuesday, if it's the same night as.
August 7th, I believe.
Okay. Well,
Okay, well,
thank you.
you're welcome. You're very welcome. As always, if